Good morning. This is the weekend update for Buy Sell Short for Saturday, March 22nd. We're going to start off a little different today. We're going to look at the BTK Biotech Index, and really the only reason I'm bringing this up is because this is what the business media latched onto as the reason for the market sell-off yesterday, and the reasoning that we have finally seen supposedly the top in the market. Big sell-off in biotech stocks, as you can see here yesterday, and the reason for it kind of silly, but it is what it is. You had three congressmen write a letter to Gilead complaining, G-I-L-D, asking why they have priced their HIV drug at $83,000 a pop, and there's talk about Medicare and insurance plans balking at paying that price for a drug that works fantastically, supposedly, with the disease. But folks, that is essentially what biotech stocks do. 83K actually is kind of cheap compared to what we've seen some of these other biotech stocks charge, but it seems that we had a couple of analysts come out and say, well, this might start a repricing issue with large biotechs, and you just saw a sell-off across the board. It's one of those things where everyone is looking for any kind of reason to sell, and even if the reason is stupid, they will sell. And, Wall Street, hedge fund managers, etc., and the robots are all a bunch of sheep, and they follow each other around, and that's essentially what we saw here with the large cap bios on Friday, and it actually weighed throughout the market. We had the Dow up 100 plus, but NASDAQ was red on the day because, all these large cap bios are on NASDAQ, and eventually it just weighed on the session. It was also options expiration on Friday, lo and behold, and I bet if we looked at a lot of those large cap bios that were down on Friday, you'll see that the max pain for them was probably pretty close to where they ended up dropping those stocks. So nothing is coincidental when it comes to the market, and don't be surprised in a few days to see the same clown analysts coming out and reversing and saying, oh, the sell-off in these stocks is pretty overdone. Translation, we've stolen lots of shares and now we're ready to bounce these stocks back up and make a profit. That is how Wall Street works. Dow daily chart. You can see we had that nice little pop. We broke out of this bullish falling wedge on Friday, but options expiration, etc., weighed on the market and down we came. We're still waiting for that positive MACD cross, and stochastics did get up above the 50 level and dip a little, but we want to make sure this is not what we see happen. Ended up giving us an indication of a big sell-off. There's one of those things, even though we may not sell off, if you've got enough people yelling fire out there, you're going to scare enough people out, at least in the near term. 15-minute chart, you can see that breakout and pullback, but, we're pretty oversold at the moment on the 15-minute chart and could definitely see a snapback move on Monday. Dow Transports, still waiting for that breakout. Need to hold this. We've got a couple of levels. We could still see another 100-point sell-off in the Dow Transports and still be fine, so just keep that in mind. Big focus, of course, is going to be on oil and whether we see some more sanctions come out. Oil was up on Friday, despite the fact that the U.S. released 5 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Oil Reserve, kind of hinting that we could be seeing some more sanctions coming, specifically with basic material stocks. Oil, essentially oil. If we see the U.S. and Europeans put sanctions on U.S. and European oil companies doing business in Russia, we are going to see the North American oil and gas stocks just blow up. And the chart we see here right now on oil looks like that could be setting up. We've got this nice little consolidation here. We had an extreme negative MACD that is now pushing up and triggering a buy signal when it's coupled with this stochastics level. This is a mirror action to what we saw, as you can see, back at the January lows. And as you know, over the course of the following month, oil ended up gaining 15%, and the chart is setting up to do a similar thing here, which is why we have started positioning in small oil and gas stocks for the near term. Russell continues to bounce around, but it's been the stronger of the indices. Dow Transports has been weighed down by issues with FedEx. So 1212, All-time high breakout is what we're going to be watching for next week. But anyway, let's jump into some stock plays. Monster, monster, monster. No other way to put it. MNGA. Of course, when you search around on Twitter, you'll see everyone claiming how they were the first ones in this stock. But you guys know the real deal. No one else was talking about this stock when we issued the buy alert at 78 to 80 cents with the research that they're now writing about on Seeking Alpha and et cetera, et cetera. We were the first ones to find it, as is usually the case. And you recall me saying in the video this was going to be the next ZBB that ran, ended up running 500%. And here we are a week or so later, and this stock's gone from 80 cents to 240, 300% move. Conference is on Tuesday. It's going to be interesting to see what this huge announcement that they have. If it's a yawner, we could see a sell the news reaction. But, if you're still riding that partial position on this stock, you've got a lot of room. I mean, you can put your trailing stops at 2. Put your trailing stops at $1.90, $1.80. It's all funny money at this stage from the extreme low entry that we had. DEJ, what a awesome move. And DEJ, after I'd sent out the email and video on Thursday, came out and gave us an earnings report. Great earnings report. Profitable out of the blue. $4.3 million in net income for the last quarter. Multi-year breakout happened as a result of that. If we go to a smaller chart, you can see we broke out above that resistance. We had a lot of profit taking, but we held that breakout level and then moved into the close. And if we go back to this chart right now, in this environment, with this breakout, with the numbers that we're seeing on this stock, I think it's only a matter of when this stock sees 40 to 42 cents. And you'll recall that when we give targets on energy stocks, Mega was one, ZBB was one, where we targeted a big move, UQM was one, DEJ should be exactly the same, looking really, really good in the near term. Now, another oil and gas play to keep a really close eye on is TGC. It's actually profitable. It's been bouncing around in a tight range over the last 6 months, but strong move late on Friday. Big breakout at 54 cents. First target, 71 cents. That is a 40% upside potential. Stops on this one. If you waited to add the 55 break, you could use 50 cents as your support or the 200-day moving average at 45 cents. This also is about to get a golden cross on the daily chart, which is very, very bullish, especially when you see it happen on small cap stocks. So if the oil and gas plays blow up, this is a stock that has tremendous upside over the next month or two with minimal downside, I believe. Biotechs. Now, while the large cap bios have been getting slapped around, the small cap bios continue to outperform. Big triangle breakout on Friday on HEB on very, very big volume. They're at a conference, and as you know, HEB always loves to pump out press release at any opportunity that they have. We have not seen any press, but the conference is not over till Sunday, and mid-morning, big volume out of the blue came into this stock. It was at 40.5 cents, and then boom, there was like a 400,000 bidder at 42 cents. Ended up closing at 47 cents on the day. Broke out through resistance. Positive MACD cross. Stochastics up through 50. Money flow has gone positive. ADX, which is another momentum indicator, is in a strong uptrend, and if we get a positive press release Monday morning, this is a stock that could go really, really big. Now, there's a lot of rumors going around about them possibly getting a BARDA contract award. I've seen some stuff talking about $50 million, et cetera, et cetera. Someone seems to be knowing something on this stock. I recall the last couple of times we've seen a big volume spike in this stock, it has gone big. It doubled the last time it got volume early in the year, 27 cents to 50 cents. Remember, we were buyers in here. As always, buy, sell, short guys. First ones in on most of these moves. Seems that this is setting up the same way. And if we didn't even have this pending news coming on this stock, this is an excellent chart breakout, and chart breakouts have just been going gangbusters in this market. PTN, another one of our gem plays, just keeps stair-stepping, flag breaking higher each and every time. Big note out on Friday. I sent that out to you guys. Roth Capital note, essentially outlining all the research I've been giving you guys since we jumped into this stock down at 80 cents. Here we go. A couple of months ago, stock hit $1.50 on Thursday, almost 100% mover for us thus far. One of my favorite biotechs going into this year. Extremely, extremely undervalued, I believe. Little bit of update on that report. A large pharma paid $1 million for an exclusive negotiation to get the rights for their female Viagra drug. That exclusive negotiation period expires March 31st. I would be very surprised if we don't see some sort of deal. When a company pays $1 million just for the right to negotiate for a drug, it tells you there's a winner here. We also have the phase 3 trial protocols and beginning of that trial about to be announced as well. This is, if ISR can go from 70 cents to $3.60 on some silly press release, a biotech stock with $1 billion drug, sky is the limit and looking great going into next week. Last stock I want to mention, though, is HH, our healthcare play. Keep a very close eye on this one. Strong close on Friday at 70 cents. 74 cents lights this puppy up. We've already now closed above the major downtrend line on this stock. Target is $1 plus. Could see a very nice earnings run in this one into Wednesday. Remember, a couple of hedge funds have picked up 35% of this company. And when you see that kind of action in a small cap stock, you pay attention. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you have an awesome weekend and see you all in the chat room on Monday. Bye.